Hey everybody, welcome out to another episode of Bald Up Genetics. My name is Lloyd, and if you like reptiles, then this channel's for you. On this episode, since it's our first video of the new year and a brand new breeding season, I have my list, and we're going to start pairing some snakes together. So what I did is I went over, and yes, I am old school, I write it down. I went over some of the pairings that I wanted to do for this new season, what kind of combinations we could get from them, and now I'm going to start pairing up some of the males. So I'm going to take you along with that, and we'll get started. Okay, so let's get some snakes going. So before you put snakes together, you want to make sure your females are up to weight. So if you bred them last season, they laid eggs, you want to make sure they're back up to weight, what they previously were, or even heavier. And then also you want to make sure your males are up to weight too, because more likely your males may go off of feed for the entire breeding season. So you want to make sure that they are definitely up to weight so you don't lose any during the breeding season. The females, once you start putting males in with them, then you start to feed them more and more, because that helps stimulate the growth of the eggs or the follicles, because that tells them that they have an abundant food source, so yes, they can produce offspring. I think the problem that I had with some of my genetic stripes last year was they weren't getting enough food, and so they reabsorbed their eggs. Right now, these first introductions with these males are just to stimulate those females into those follicle growth. In the weeks to come, I will ultrasound to see if the eggs are getting bigger or not. And then I can start, after that, I will start strategically putting those males in at certain key times. I have a chart up right here to show you the follicle size and when you should do stuff. But right now also, as you can see behind me, I have green tape from last year. I will be replacing that with newer tape. And I keep track of the follicle growth of these females, so I know when to put those males in. But right now it's just getting everybody ready for breeding season. So the first one I'm going to put in is probably, I have a Super Pastel Lesser Genetic Stripe. I'm going to put in with one of probably my Pastel Genetic Stripe female, because I want visual genetic stripes this year. Last year I used my Banana Cinnamon Het G-Stripe. Again, those females didn't go, so I didn't get any visual banana G-stripes. I did get a few hets from him with other females that I put in. Heterozygous for genetic stripe. So no visual stuff last year, so I'm going to put this male in so I at least get some visual stuff, or hopefully some visual stuff this year. So I'm going to put him in first, and then we'll start putting in some of these other males in. One of the main things... You know, one of the main things with my list is I have to sit there and decide what do I want to do. So this is the male that's genetic stripe. As you can see, he's got a rough shed going on because it does get super dry in here. Even though I do try humidifiers in here, it's still not enough for them. But going back to what I was saying earlier, I have to look at what do I want to do long-term project-wise that's going to make me excited for this hobby, that I can see stuff happening in the next few years. What do I want to do short-term with my projects so I can see something this season, and then I need to make stuff that also sells very quickly too, so I can take that money and put back into my long-term projects. So of course, one of my main recessive projects is working with genetic stripe. So I want to do that. So when I put them in with the females, again, I make sure she's up to weight, everything's good inside, and then I will spray water in there because that's going to help stimulate them also for breeding, and it's going to help with the humidity that's in here. So I'm going to put them in with that. With her, I'm going to put everybody marks when they put males in with different ways. They can do little clips, they can write it down. I just move their nameplate over. and because I know where he goes back when he does. So I just moved his nameplate over. So I'm gonna put it over here with this female, so I know he's in here with her. And then like I said, then I'll come back and I'll spray it down with water. But let's go on with the next one. Okay, so in this next one I have this Super Pastel Het Clown, and I'm gonna stick this male Super Pastel Het Clown in there. So I can see the size difference, so I don't need to mark him, but sometimes when they look a lot alike, you want to mark your male. So when he comes, so you can pull him out later on, and then when he sheds, that mark will come off. But again, they're in there together, and then I just rinse them down a little bit, bring that humidity in, kind of stimulate them a little bit, and then put them back. So again, I'll take his name tag, put it up here. I'll come back and write down the date that I put him in. I will check them over the next 2-3 days, see if there's a lock. If there's a lock, I'll mark it. If not, I'll put no visual lock. But I'll leave them. My males, I personally leave them in anywhere from, honestly, 3 days to 5 days. If I see a lock in 24 hours, let me leave them in one more day, and then I'll take them out. And I'll leave them out, and then I either put them in with another female during that time, or if that specific female that he's going in with, then I will take him out for a couple of days, and then I'll put him back in again. I don't, right now, the males that I have, I don't really have them going with more than 2 or 3 females, and that's it. And some people will put in a male with maybe 4 or 5 females. I don't really do that right now. Anywhere from 2 to 3 females, and then that's it. So, all right, let's go on with another one. All right, so I have a new pairing this year. I'm putting this Visual Banana Ghost in with my Ghost female. We found out that he was, last season, that he was a ghost, banana ghost. I knew there was something else going on with this guy. He wasn't sold to me as a banana ghost, but I knew something was going on just with his coloration. Doing some research and talking to some other people, they were like, oh yeah, that's a visual. I did put him with another female and produce some bananas that are het ghost, but this year I want to get some more visual banana ghosts with them, so I'm going to put him with this female. She didn't go last year, so we'll see what she does this year. She's peeking up, she's right there. So I'm going to come over this way. I'm going to, so she doesn't strike at me, I'm going to tap her. And then I'm going to bring you guys along. So let me grab this and turn this around. So you can see she's in there. I'm going to come in. I'm going to put this male right here next to her. Then I'm going to just put some water in here to bring up the humidity. Just change the parameters for them. And then we'll see what happens. So I'll take his plate, put it next to hers, and then I'll write it all down. All right, guys, so let's do this pied het, hey man. Let's do this pied het lavender albino. And he's gonna go down here with this lavender female that's het pied. All right, so I'm putting him in here. You can see she's back there. I wet it down already. All right. Those two in together. Put his tag. So unfortunately, my yellow belly pied male, which let me show you him. He is not quite up to weight yet. So he's right there, but he's not quite yet. The other thing you can do is you can pop them and see if there's any sperm plugs, and then you know he's ready to start breeding. But he's still at least 200 grams away from breeding, so maybe later in the season I can try him in my Dreamsicle projects. because he is het lavender albino. But we'll try him either later in the season, or he'll definitely go next year, and he'll be the main breeder for my Dreamsicle project in the new year, so in 2023. But I'm hoping that I can maybe get him in later in this season, but we'll see. You never know. But I think that's it. Just to put a few together for you guys real quick. I'm going to stay in here. And do the rest of them. But I don't want to take up this whole video just doing that. Just want to quickly show you that I'm starting the season. Starting it a little bit late. But it's getting started. And I know right now, too, probably through this whole video, you've been thinking, man, you're in your snake room and you're in a sweater. Well, I just got home from work. I slapped this logo over my work logo. I said, let me get this done real quick. Yes, I am sweating a lot in here right now. Normally, I'm in here in t-shirt and shorts and flip-flops doing all this stuff. But let me knock out the rest of this. I will see you guys on the next video. We'll go into more detail with the ball python breeding season. All right, everybody, so that's it for this first video of 2022. Just a quick pairing video on our ball pythons. Again, it is the beginning of the brand new breeding season. I'm starting to pair some together, and we'll take you along the next few videos of doing more pairings, starting to feed a little bit more for the females. We'll get into ultrasounding them to see how the egg follicles go. You don't need an ultrasound machine when it comes to breeding reptiles, but it is a nice tool to have, and it helps you target the specifics of those follicle growth. So again, you're not burning out your males, and that's why I like using one. But we'll take you along in those videos also to show you all of that stuff. But I hope everybody's enjoyed this video. I want to thank you guys for also subscribing. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, and that's really great. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please do so down below. It doesn't cost you anything, but it means a lot to this channel. Turn on that post notification bell so every time we upload a video, which typically is on Tuesdays, you're going to be informed. And again, if you can share these videos to your social media platforms, it'll help get this channel out there to everybody. But until the next video, take care, and we'll see you again real soon.